There's a brand new basketball coming to the world soon, and in this video, we're going to talk about everything you gotta know about this game-changing basketball. What up everybody, it's your boy STG Hoops here with a brand new video, the second video of our channel. A lot of people showed support in the last one, so if you enjoy this video, hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. I want to chat with everybody, but let's get straight to this, man. Wilson, obviously the makers of the ball that we all love and play with, the Wilson Evolution, which is so expensive now, man. But anyways, the Evos, this company, Wilson, is charged and tasked, specifically someone named Dr. Nadine, is tasked with literally creating a basketball that's never been made and or at least until this year seen before as well. It's actually called an Airless Basketball. Now, believe it or not, we actually saw this basketball live during the NBA All-Star Weekend. Yeah, during the dunk contest, Kevin Martin and his son, Kevin Martin Jr., actually used this ball for one of their dunks. By the way, Kevin Martin, I used to watch this guy hoop, bro. Man, time flies. Anyway, so that was kind of the first glimpse, and when you look at the footage, like he was dribbling the ball, it looked really cool and smooth, but that was kind of the first glimpse of this usage. But what I want to do right now is kind of share with you the process of how this ball is made, and then we can kind of get to some of the pros and the cons. Now, making an airless basketball is obviously something we've never ever seen before. I'm sure even up until recently even dreamed before, right? But technology, like it is for everything that we're all involved in, is increasing every single day, every single year. So now there's actually a technology, and they actually mentioned this in the interview with Wilson, Dr. Nadine, and the team. It's called additive manufacturing, right? Crazy word, but basically this type of manufacturing allows Wilson to actually prototype and then of course work with the manufacturing to make this design and this basketball come to reality. One of the biggest things that Wilson mentions, obviously before even making this basketball, when obviously thinking about it and prototyping it, it has to feel like a basketball, number one, and it has to play like a basketball. So they're obviously keeping these things in mind. But what I really appreciated by Wilson and the team, that their main focus was the actual player. They knew that coming into the design, to the manufacturing and everything in between. So I do appreciate that in the interview about how this ball is made, that they really did mention that the player is who they have in mind, and rightfully so, but you'd be surprised how many people do things without, the customer in mind. So it's cool to know that they're obviously designing this specifically for hoopers, as they should. It makes sense, right? Anyways, in regards to the process, what they do once they have this design, which we already seen, is they pretty much put it in like a powder bed. Yeah, they pretty much put they set up this powder bed, and basically lasers are swept across, and it pretty much etches a sketch. So they have this powder bed, a laser, etches around it, and a sketch is then made, and then somehow you're ended up with a three-dimensional ball. Pretty crazy, right? The ball is then made through this manufacturing process. Once the ball is made, since it's clearly, there's a bunch of holes everywhere, the powder then has to obviously be removed. So by picking it up and doing whatever they got to do, the powder is then removed. And then the cool part is you get to put a dye in it, okay? So then they dye it. So obviously in this video and, kind of what they showed in the prototype, it was like black, a darkish color. But I'm pretty sure a dye can definitely be changed into different colors, right? If you want this similar orange basketball like we got in the NBA, the Evos, etc. And then I'm sure they'll even, mock up different colors for prices and things like that if I had to, put my money on it. And the cool thing that I also mentioned when we talked about the player is the main person that they're focusing on. Once this ball is made, it then goes to an NBA test facility in Ohio, and the ball goes through various rigorous testing. I don't know what that testing includes, but I'm sure it's a bunch of bouncing, what happens when there's weight on it, what happens when it is slammed against something from different distances, pressure. These are probably various things that they're doing to see how it withstands, because there's no, it doesn't get pumped, right? So it's just crazy, but obviously it goes through rigorous testing. Obviously, I think if there's one thing you can tell, this is a pretty expensive process, right? And this is just for one ball. Cool. In regards to what to expect and when to expect, from what I've been reading, it looks like next year is when, these balls may start to get rolled out. One of the biggest things to expect, especially in year one, is that this ball is going to be really pricey. Yeah, it's going to be pricey. An Evo goes for about $80 now. I remember when it used to go for $30. this ball is going to be at least over 200 if I had to put, you know, my money on it. Let me know what you think the price would be or should be. But now I kind of want to get into some of the pros and to the cons of this ball, because there's definitely a few that stand out for both, and then we'll kind of leave it to y'all in the comments. So for the pros, number one, you don't have to pump it. Obviously, it's an airless ball. That's what it's prototyped and, you know, marketed as. So yes, the benefit of having an airless ball is you don't gotta pump air to it. So at least according to these rigorous testings and things of that sort, you would think that this ball really isn't going to, you know, get a hole in it or is going to lose a bounce. You would think that apparently it just should always have a perfect bounce, which is my second pro. That this ball, since you don't have to fill air with it and it's made with some miraculous, you know, fibers and whatever it's made with, you would think that it's going to have the perfect bounce. It's, you know, a lot of the times you play with the ball, speaking as a hooper myself, sometimes the ball has too much air, sometimes it's flat. You know how it is, right? So a ball like this, especially an expensive ball like this, you would think that this revolutionary ball has that perfect bounce. And then that also goes with my last pro that I can think of, is the grip. You would think that with all these resources, all these fibers and everything in between, it's made for the hooper, that this grip should be really nice. And one way to kind of support this is they use it in a dunk contest. And in a dunk contest, sometimes you want that grip. You want that grip when you're in the air and you want to slam it down, right? So you would think that grip is something that comes with this ball at a very, very high level. Now, regarding the cons, there's definitely a couple. I think one of the biggest ones that I can think of is why change something that's not broken. I mean, it's been working, you know, for a long time. I love playing with the Evos. I get it. There's an air problem. Sometimes you got to fill it up, but it's not like it takes that much effort. I'm sure it's a lot easier to produce, mass production. That's why it's cheaper, at least cheaper than what this ball may be like. So why change something that's not broken? I love the Evos. It's my favorite ball to play with. I love when I go to a court and people have a real hooping ball like an Evo. So that's probably one of the biggest things. But then getting a little bit more technical, obviously there's holes in it. So if you're going to be playing with this like outside, maybe not an inside you got to worry about it, but outside you're going to have rocks, you're going to have all these various things, you know, with such small holes. I know that the design is not final, but with these small holes, what happens if rocks come in it, you know? If you've ever balled, you know, those old school balls, sometimes you play with the basketball outside and you just hear the rocks inside. I don't know how it got inside, but you just know there's random things inside, and that it's like the hooping experience is just whoa. You know what I'm trying to talk about? Like this, if this has happened to you, let me know, but it's happened to me playing with a ball with rocks inside. It's whoa. So a ball like this can definitely get rocks stuck inside if these holes are that small and you're playing outside. And then obviously number 3, and the last con that I can think of, is just the feel, right? They're revolutionizing everything. And obviously one of the cons I said is the grip. You would think that the grip would be legit and it would just be game changing. But what if it's not? What if the grip is just weird? Then that definitely would then be a con. But that's pretty much it for me, fam. I definitely did my research on this video to give you guys as many facts as I could. I hope y'all enjoyed, so let me know in the comments down below what you think about this ball. And I'm really excited to chat with y'all, but if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe, hit that bell, and let's have some discussions about this basketball. Would you get it? Do you think the NBA would actually get this, or would this just be for consumers? Let me know what you think in the comments down below.